So yesterday we created a program on control statements like if statement and case statement, and we have gone through how the program is working when we implemented the different conditions. So these are the control statements, if statement and case statement. For now, we'll make use of these control statements in our program. Okay, and next concepts we'll discuss later. Okay, they are not useful now, so we'll discuss step by step. So these are the syntaxes to define if statement and case statement. Okay, so if statement usually we use for undefined values which are not fixed, right? Undefined values. And case statements we can use for defined values like weeks, months, right? So for if statement or case statement, the else part is important. Else part and when others in case statement, because if all the above statements are failed, what is the functionality we need to execute? That one we implement inside if statement. Sorry, else statement. Others, when others is also similar to else statement. When all the above all values are false, then the functionality which is available in others will execute. Okay,
Yes, sir.
or we can display some error. Okay, if you want, or we can display some message if all the above conditions are failed if required. Okay, so today we'll start working on work areas and internal tables. How to work with work areas and internal tables, and how to define. So to work or to use any data object in program, what is prerequisite? What is the first step to use any data object in your program? That should be defined, right?
Three.
We should define that
Yes.
data object.
Declaration.
Without defining the data object, we cannot use it, right? That is same case with variable, parameter, constant, right? And that is same case with work area or internal table also. As of now, we have seen how to define parameters, constants, and variables. Today we'll see how to define a work area and how to define a internal table and how to process the data and how to display the data from internal tables or work area. Okay. So there are two ways of populating data into work areas and internal tables. What are those two ways? In program, the first approach is in program, we can pass the values manually to work area fields and add work area records to internal table. That is one way of doing it. What is the other way?
Default.
We can select the data from database tables directly
Table.
into work area or internal table. If you are selecting a single record, what is the suitable data object?
Yeah.
Work area. If you are selecting multiple records from database table, internal
Internal
table.
table.
If you are selecting single field from the table,
Working.
yeah, variable is enough, right? If you are using a single field with multiple records, for
Internal
example,
table.
you are selecting employee ID, only employee ID from database table. You are not selecting employee name and city. You are selecting only employee ID, but all the employee IDs. For example, we have three records here. Three records with single field. What is the suitable data object?
Work area.
No,
Three
no.
records in the sense internal table.
Internal table.
Internal table. Because work area can hold single record only, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Internal table may contain one field or maybe multiple fields, multiple columns. You can also call columns, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? So in that
Okay.
case, you have to use internal table with one column. That internal table will contain only one column, that is employee ID, and multiple records, right? So this is the column. This is the column. This is the column, and these are the records. 1, 2, 3. These are the records. First record, second record, and third record, right? Columns are fields. First field, second field, and third field. These are columns.
Yes, sir.
Okay, don't confuse between records and columns. Okay, selecting records means selecting number of values or maybe Value in the sense of collection of values is a record, right? So this
Yes,
is
sir.
the complete record, and this is a single column. How many records are there for employee ID column? 3 records.
3.
Yes. Mm. Now tell me how to populate value to data objects like variable. First we'll see how to populate data to variable. Anyway, we have already created the program. I'll show you once again. First define the variable. What is the statement to define a variable?
Data,
Data. For
variable
example,
name,
LV underscore EMP
ID,
type,
type,
data type and length. C,
char, in the braces.
or you can also use length here, some 10, right?
Yes.
And how to populate the value? LV underscore
Eh,
EMP
apply
manually. This is how we populate the value manually. For example, EMP
1000.
100 in single quotes because it's a character type, right?
Yes.
In variable, you can also pass default values. When you are defining itself, you can pass the value using a value.
Value.
Value, for example, EMP 101. It will be the default value, right? So if you don't pass any value after that, what is the value available? EMP 101. If you pass the value here, this value will be overwritten with the new value because we can update the values, right, in the variable
Yes. Yes, sir.
throughout the program.
Yes, sir.
When you are defining, if you want to assign any value, default value, you can use this. So it is similar to constant. In constant also we assign the value, right, when we are defining it.
Yes, sir.
But what is difference between constant and variable? The value which you
All
assign to the constant cannot be changed.
about to change. Yes.
But for variable,
It
the
can
value
be
can be
changed
changed.
throughout the program.
Yes. Now we'll see how to assign now or how to define a work area and how to pass values to the work area. When you are defining the variable, it is for single field. That's why you are assigning a data type C character and you are able to assign some value. But when you are working with the work area, how many fields we can expect in a work area? One or more, right?
Yes, sir.
If there are more fields, how can you assign the data type for that specific field? For example, if you take this, we have 3 fields here: employee ID, employee name, and city, right? How can you assign data type for each field when you are using data statement? To define a work area, first we need to
Data,
define
work
one type
area name.
structure. Before defining the work area, we have a prerequisite, that is, we need to create a structure, that is using types begin of, assign some name, for example, ty underscore data, whatever in lowercase or not syntax, right? What we can provide any value. These are all we have to follow some naming convention, assign some value. Begin of data, for example, I'll assign fields empid type, maybe C or 10, can also use length, all right? Or I'll just use some 40. Phone, type, N, like that. For a data of joining, for anything, you can use a separate data type. So I am grouping the fields. I'm preparing the fields which I want to have in the work area. And end of ty underscore data. What do we call this? We call this as
Structure.
type structure. We call this as a type structure, right? Which we define in the program. Okay, with a list of fields. Okay, and every field we use comma at the end, and we close it with end of ty data, or maybe type structure name. End of type structure name. Now, how to define a work area? Now, data. For
Work
example,
area name.
work area naming convention will take as WA underscore emp data is the work area name. Type. What we need to take here? ty underscore data.
Data.
Now, whatever the values, whatever the fields we are using here, part of this work area. Now, this work area contains how many fields? 1, 2, 3, 4 fields. Okay, right?
Yes, sir.
How to pass data? Now, we have defined a work area and it's an empty area like this.
Uh, right.
Work area is this. Empty space is created when you use data statement. Now, how to populate the values to work area? That is WA underscore emp data equal to, can we pass it like this? Can we populate the values like this?
I think no, sir. No, sir.
And employee name like this, for example, name of, can we pass it like this? No, because why we are doing this in variable? Because variable is a single field, right? We are directly mapping that value to that field. But
Mm.
here we have multiple fields. What is this emp 100? For which field you are passing this value? We have 4 fields. For which field this value should be populated? We are not saying that here. We are not defining that here. Correct? So how
Yes.
work area will know in which field this value should be populated? emp 100. That one we have to define using hyphen work area hyphen field name.
EMP ID.
Work area hyphen field name. Right? City. Do we need to use single quotes for phone number? No, it's just number type, right? You can use number. Now, these values are populated to work area. Okay, this is how we'll populate data to work area. 4 fields, right? We have 4 fields. I think I have to draw one more. Okay, now data will be populated to this work area. How to display the work area data? Using write statement. Okay, using write statement you can display the work area data, but you have to specify the individual fields in the write statement. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and you can also populate this data from database tables directly into work area. Okay, we'll see that later. First we'll see how to populate data manually and display it. Now we'll
Do
see
we,
how
do
to.
we need to specify headings also, sir?
No, you don't need to.
Okay.
Okay, just populate the values to corresponding values. That's it.
Okay, sir.
There is another concept for heading. Okay, we'll work on that later
Yes, sir.
when we are working with database tables. So headings will be automatically available in the write
Okay.
statement, but when we are using the basic write statement, right? In that case, we may need to prepare a separate heading for these fields using some space lengths. I'll show you. Now to define the internal table, what we need to do? Again, we need a type structure for internal table too, because internal table contains multiple columns, right? And it can
Yes.
accept multiple records. How to define internal table? First, create the type structure. I'll reuse the same type structure which is created for work area data. For example, IT underscore emp data type standard table of ty underscore data. Now, both internal table and work area is referring to the same type structure. So, this internal table and work area contains the same structure, right? Same fields in the same order, correct?
Yes, sir.
But work area can accept only single record. Internal table can accept multiple records. That is the difference. But both are referring to the same structure, correct?
Yes, sir.
How to add records to work area? Sorry, internal table like this. First, populate records to work area and use append wa underscore emp data to it underscore emp data. Now, one record will add to the internal table at the end. To populate one more record, what we need to do?
Same.
Populate the work area again with the new record and append it to the internal table, right?
Yes, sir.
Like that, populate the work area, and after populating the work area, use append wa underscore emp data to it underscore emp data. Now, one more record will be added to internal table. Like that, depends on the number of records you add. First, populate the work area and add that work area record to internal table. Okay, clear? You cannot directly add records to the internal table. First, populate the data to work area and add that record to internal table. Okay, before going to populate, right, from work area, before going to add the work area record to internal table, right? Sorry, after populating the work area record to internal table, clear the work area before populating new record to work area, right? we have already added this work area record to internal table. We don't need data in the work area anymore. That record is completed. That record processing is completed. Then clear the work area. It will clear the work area and populate the new values and append it to internal table. Why we need to clear? Let's assume here we are populating 4 fields, right? Employee ID, employee name, city and phone number, right?
Yes, sir.
We are populating all the values for all the fields. For the second record, I am populating only employee ID and employee name. I am not populating city and phone number because I don't know their city and phone number. I am leaving them blank. Right? For the second record. If you don't clear after the first record processing, what will happen? The first record values will be already there, right, in the work area.
Yes, sir. Overlap.
If you are populating here in the second record, you are populating only employee ID and employee name. So these two values will be updated. Employee ID and employee name will be updated with the new values. But the rest of the values, two fields, city and phone number,
Will be the
previous
same.
record values will already there, right? They are
Sir.
going to update to the internal table because we are not clearing those previous values. And we are populating only few fields for the next second record. That is incorrect data will be populated, right? For that
Yes, sir.
reason, first clear the work area and populate the values. Okay, so that previous record values will be cleared and we'll have correct data maintained in the work area. Okay, how to add work area record to internal table?
By using append.
By using append statement.
Yes, sir.
What append will do? Append will add every record at the end of the internal table, right? We have alternative statement, that is insert work area record to internal table. So what is the difference between insert and append? Insert will add records at the specified position, or if you want it in the first position, second position, third position. But what append will do? Append every record will be added at the end.
End of end of
Okay, at the end of the internal table.
internal table.
So the first record will be in the top position, and the recent record appended to the internal table will be in the
Bottom.
last position,
Yes, sir.
right? Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir.